I want to speak on the subject, the philosophy of servant leadership, the kingdom philosophy of servant leadership. And I want to begin with a few statements that we've been talking about for the past 10 months. I have been speaking on the subject of the kingdom for the last 10 months, and will continue to do so for the next year or so, because there's so much to cover. But I want to speak this morning on zeroing in on the leadership philosophy of kingdom life. In other words, understanding the importance and the value of servanthood in the kingdom. It's kind of a paradox when you use the word king and servant, because in our mentality, those two words don't make much sense together. So, as we take a look at that concept that seemed to be a contradiction, a king-servant, it becomes clearer when you understand exactly what is meant by the concept of kingdom servant leadership. First point I want you to note in your notes is that God created man for rulership and not for religion. This is very important to remember, that God's motivation for creating man was not because God wanted a creature to worship him in a religious experience. As a matter of fact, religion was invented by sin. Now I pause for you to get the point. Religion is a product of the fall of man. If you read the Bible pre-fall, that means Genesis chapter 1 and 2, you will find no religion in those chapters. And yet, in those chapters, God says, this is very good. Which means, where there was no religion, God considers very good. Religion was created in Genesis chapter 4, when the first human activity of building an altar was invented, or created, or initiated by who? Cain and Abel. Which means that Adam and Eve, based on the historical biblical record, there's no record of them singing in the garden, praying in the garden, fasting in the garden. There was no prayer meetings and all the activities we do. As a matter of fact, in the Garden of Eden, there was no apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher.